All right, welcome everyone. As you see, this is Introduction to Quadratic Functions, so let's just begin. So here, the first thing you see is standard form. The other way that you normally see this, instead of f of x, somebody might write y. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to move this over here, move this down here so that we can move on. Okay, so a quadratic function has a degree of 2. Okay, the squared term tells you what the degree is. And so the first thing they want you to do is, if it's not in standard form, is you need to be able to put it in standard form. So what they have you do is they have you multiply these two. You could use FOIL, which is first, outer, inner, last, or you could use the rectangular boxes, which is what I taught. Or you could use distributive property. It's whatever makes you happy. So I'm going to go ahead and do the first one for you. And you have 2x minus 1, and you have 3x, whoops, sorry. Let me undo that. Plus 5, so here you have 6x squared. Multiply that, minus 3x, 10x minus 5. So when you put all that together, you end up with f of x equals 6x squared. You have 10x minus 3x, so plus 7x. Please excuse me, I'm fighting off a cold. And then minus 5. That's now in standard form. You can do the same thing with this one. I'm just going to do it really quickly. So you're going to end up with 2x squared minus 5x. Minus 5x, and then minus 4x, and then plus 10. So you're going to have 2x squared minus 9x plus 10. Again, that's how you put it in standard form. So hopefully you do remember how to do that. If not, you might want to check out videos on factoring. Excuse me. Okay, now the next thing you need to be able to do here is you need to be able to graph it. Now this is something that's very familiar to you. We've talked about it numerous times. So you're going to have to plot points and you're going to have to put them on the graph. Now this is something I've been working with everyone on for a while. Mostly because when you do it, the graphs look sloppy. So what I'm going to do is we're going to graph y equals x squared, okay? Okay. Okay, and then they want you to do it, fill in the table. So let's do that really quick. Okay, so if you square negative 2, you get 4. And if you square that, you get 1, 0. You square that, you get 1. And here you get 4. So then let's plot those points. So negative 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Now notice what I'm doing. I'm actually putting points on, and that's the part you guys always seem to be missing, and why I take off on your graphs. And all I'm doing is just plotting these points. Okay? Okay, so there are all my points. Notice here is your line of symmetry, which we'll talk about in a bit. That looks horrible, so let's do that again. Let's see if I can make it look a little better. There we go. And then how do I know if this is correct? That's why I need the points, because it helps me check. Okay, so now keep in mind you can also use a table function on your calculator to get the table if you want to do it that way as well. This was an easy function, so that's why I just did it. Okay, so the shape of a graph of a quadratic is called a parabola. It's a curve or a parabola is what it is. Okay, I'm guessing that's what they're looking for. And then the graph for all quadratics will be in the form of a parabola. Okay, yeah. Not really, but okay. Okay, and then from here, what you want to do is you want to identify all of this information. So when you're looking at your graph on your calculator, I assume that you have it out, what you want to do is you want to draw it, okay, and when you look at it, you need to identify the vertex. The vertex, because this graph opens up, this is the vertex, it's the lowermost point. And so the vertex is going to be 0, 0. Everybody see that? Axis of symmetry goes through the vertex. So it is a vertical line, which means it's x equals 0. Your axis of symmetry should always be a vertical line. Does this one open up or down? Opens up. Does it have a maximum or a minimum? If it opens down, it has a maximum. If it opens up, it has a minimum. This has a minimum. And what is the minimum? It's the y value. So the minimum is 0. Okay? Domain is always going to be all real numbers. And then the range, look at your lowest point in this case, and your range is going to be all the y's that are greater than 0. So y is greater than or equal to 0. Zero's roots or solution, what points touch the x-axis? In this case, it's just 0. And it's a simple answer there. So we're going to do a couple, so don't panic if you missed some of that, and then we're going to show you some definitions. And please feel free to replay it, pause it, whatever you need to do. Okay, so let's go to the next page. Okay, so here are some things that you kind of need to know. Okay, if a is greater than 0, and what you're remembering is it's y equals ax squared, they used f of x, plus bx plus c. So if a is greater than 0, meaning it's positive, it opens up, and if it's negative, it opens down. Okay, to find the x-coordinate of your vertex, this assumes that you're doing this by hand. If you have a graphic calculator, you can find the vertex just doing that. And so what you do is to find the x value, you identify b and a, and you take negative b, so the opposite of b, divided by 2 times a, and that will give you the x value. And then once you get that, you plug it back into this equation for x to get y. Don't worry, we'll do one. Okay? Axis of symmetry. It's the imaginary vertical line that goes through the vertex of the parabola, cuts it into 2 symmetrical halves. This is also the x value of the vertex. Its equation is x equals negative b over 2a. Notice it's the same one. Next piece, the vertex of a parabola, will be the minimum value of the graph or the maximum value of the graph. Depending on if it opens up or down. Okay, so if it opens up, you have a minimum, and if it opens down, you have a maximum. And then your x-intercept, those are your zeros or roots, or some people use the word solutions. Okay, so now let's do the same thing with these two, only here we're going to, it's negative x squared. So what I'm going to do, exit, I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to generate my table there because I just don't want to do it. Now what you should notice is it opens down when you do that. So then I'm going to go to table. Okay. So I'm going to go to my menu. Sorry. And then I'm going to go to my table function. I need it to start with -2. What I'm doing is I want to make sure that it's going from -2 to +2 because that's the way my table is going. So I'm going to set my table. So if you're on a Casio, you want it to start at -2. You want it to stop at +2, and you want your scale of 1. If you're on a TI, you just have to tell it where to start, which is -2, and then what the step is, which is 1. Okay? And then you just do the table, and so I'm going to fill this in. So it's going to be -4. And it's going to be -1, 0, and then it's going to be -1, and it's going to be -4. Remember you're squaring, remember you're squaring x, not, and that's why it's still negative, whereas in the first one it wasn't. So let's go ahead and plot these points. So -2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then -1, 1, and then notice it's still 0. And then I don't usually do the other part. I know I could just pull from the mirror image because remember it's a line of symmetry. And here, that didn't go through, but that's how it should look. Now, what is the vertex? So what is this point? It's 0, 0. Axis of symmetry is still a vertical line. X equals 0. It now opens down. It has a maximum because it opens down. And that maximum value is this number right here, so it's 0. And then we'll do another one so you can kind of see something a little different. Domain is still all real numbers, so that's an easy one. And then your range is y is less than or equal to 0 because it's all the points going down this way. And it still only has a 0 or a root of 0. Okay? Let's do the next one. Let's see, my table function, I'm going to do x squared plus 3. And I'm leaving my table set the same place. So this is like the easiest way to do it if you have your calculator. You can do it on a TI, you could also do it on a Casio. And this is probably 7. Yep. Okay, now let's plot the points. So -2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're just going to do it here. And -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 0, 3. 1, 2, 3. And here. Okay, so notice our graph is shifted up. Okay, 3 from where it was. Okay, now, so your vertex now is 0, 3. Your axis of symmetry is still x equals 0. This opens up. It has a minimum. The minimum, though, is not 0 anymore. It's 3. Remember, it's this value right here. And don't write y equals 3. Just write 3. All real numbers still. Range, y is greater than or equal to 3. If it's opening up, its y is greater than or equal to. If it's opening down, its y is less than or equal to. And then does it cross the x-axis at all? Nope. So don't write 0, write none. Okay? That's how we're going to do that. And let's go to the next page. Because this is all you're doing in this particular lesson. So let's do one more. Okay, so I'm going to exit. And just so you know, I'm just in the table function still. I didn't even go to the graph because my table works really well, so I'll just do that. Okay, so now I'm still using -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. They didn't tell you. Those are my standard ones. Those are my go-tos. Those who know me, and hopefully the rest of you who are getting to know me realize that I don't ever work really hard to do anything. So this is -4, -3. This is 0. This is 5. And this is 12. So we're not going to be able to get all of it on here. So -2, -4. 2, 3, 4. And then this is -1. 1, 2, 3. And then this is 0. And then this is 1, 5. This is actually a really good example. And then 2 goes further. Now, what you're noticing is I'm only getting half my graph. Okay, so I need to change my window, my table, so I can get a little more of it. I'm going to change my table setting, and I want it to start at -5. Okay, and I am going to, okay, so I noticed that if I do -4, okay, -3 first is, okay, 1, 2, 3. So I know what do I know about this number? That's my vertex. And then on -4 is at 0. And then -3. Oh, I did -3, -4. -5 is right there. Okay. And then you're going to connect. Hey, that doesn't look too bad. Okay. Now, our vertex this time is what? It's -2, -4. Okay. Axis of symmetry is 1, 2. X equals -2 because that's the point it's going through. Okay. It's opening up. It has a minimum. And the minimum is what? Remember, it's this number, so it's -4. All real numbers. Range is y is greater than or equal to what? -4. There you go. And then where is it crossing the x-axis? At 0 and 1, 2, 3, -4, 0. Okay. Now I'm going to stop there and let you finish this up because that's all you have to do is finish these up and then you are ready to start your work and I will see you on the next video.